my career started as an RGN. I still got my registration. I worked at the famous Jimmy's in Leeds in research surgery before moving into renal medicine and transplantation. I left full-time nursing to move to work in the pharmaceutical industry, of which up until 2 weeks ago, I've been there for 23 years, mostly in leadership and market access roles. I've been really fortunate in my career to have been on a secondment with the Department of Health. When I was working for a company called Shear and Plough with MTRAC for 2 years, when practice-based commissioning was the new thing in the NHS, looking at outcomes for cardiovascular disease. And thinking of all of the products that I've worked on in the disease areas, I think I've worked in pretty much every area from generics to high-cost drugs. And I do admit that I am a little bit sad, but I really do like the NHS. I love it. I find it fascinating. I find it frustrating, but I think it's something that we should be incredibly proud of. So yeah, so that's my career history to date, and here I am at Star OUTiCO, and I'm thrilled. Day to day, my role is going to be really varied. So 50% of my time, I will be supporting our pharma clients to deliver KPIs that are set out in the contract specific to market access teams, to make sure that whatever we do is industry leading. We've got a lot of internal expertise from clinical Q to healthcare solutions. So we need to make sure that whatever projects I'm delivering on, that we really do utilise all of our experience within Star OUTiCO. Above and beyond that, as well as things like the DICE offering around in-call effectiveness in the digital space. Because again, for our pharma clients, the landscape of how we sell has now significantly changed. And I think as a provider, that's what really puts us ahead of our competitors. So that's sort of 50% of the day job. The other 50% of the day job is probably the more complicated, courageous, and probably more curious side of the job. And that's working either directly with the NHS to look at healthcare solutions as they try and navigate themselves around all of the changes in the NHS and how they prioritise how they're going to work with health inequalities, transformation of services, pathway reconfiguration. And often, sometimes with the NHS, they just need that one person who can bring it all together, bring the insights, bring the data to allow them to concentrate on the post-COVID ways of working. So directly with the NHS, what a fab opportunity that is, but also working with our pharma partners as well. And again, just making them see what our level of capabilities as an organisation is to really put bespoke packages together around their needs and their services and their products as well. So if you have got a product on the formulary, how do you actually pull that through? How do you implement pathways? So it's a bit of a 50-50 approach. So yeah, really exciting. I think that is probably a question that you could debate all day. For me, there's probably three really big things at the minute. I think the first thing is variance. I think the NHS has so much regional and local variance when it comes to integration. So yes, ICSs have been established and some of them have now got names from the 1st of April this year. But when it actually comes to integration, there is just not one size fits all. I think a lot of them have had to redesign services and work together collaboratively because of COVID. And I think at a time when everyone thought the NHS couldn't redesign, they've been forced into it. But the offspin of that is COVID has created, a massive backlog of elective admissions, complex patients sat in primary care, and IT systems that are just not integrated nationally. So I think the first big thing that pharma have got to try and navigate is around the variance across the 42 ICSs in NHS England. I think the second thing is exhaustion. I think the NHS are absolutely exhausted. I still work as a practicing nurse in the NHS, and I will continue to do that. But the pandemic hasn't gone away. And even though policies come in and things are changing, HCPs are still trying to understand, what does an ICS mean? Where do we fit? What's expected of us? And they're still trying to plough through a pandemic. And I think both the variance and the exhaustion makes it incredibly difficult for pharma to just find that value proposition when one size doesn't fit all. So I think that's probably some of the complicated challenges from the NHS. I think for pharma as an industry, and having been in it for 23 years, one of the big obstacles that the pharma industry have is agility. It's around how organisations navigate the processes of the NHS is incredibly challenging. And I also think that pharma have got this huge shift change now in how our sales teams actually work. We used to be traditional sales teams, predominantly face to face. Our customers like to see us, where our customer base has completely changed. NHS is changing. We're now working in a digital space. We've got stakeholders coming up in place-based partnerships and provider collaboratives. And it's how we now work digitally, but also how we work with new customers as they sort of evolve. And, the big question is what happens when CCGs are abolished in October? So there's just so much change that pharma need to keep up with. So again, you could talk all day about it. But yeah, they're probably variance, exhaustion and agility are probably the three challenges for us at the minute. You could answer this question in many different ways, but for the purpose of today, I guess for me there's four main ones. I think pharma need real customer insights. We need to make informed decisions, but not just based about product, but about service provision. And these kind of things need to be bespoke to the NHS. And again, I always say this, we have so much variance and sophistication differences in the NHS. So it's known which ICS will respond and what we can offer. So real tangible customer insights is a huge issue that obviously us as an organisation can help bridge the gap. I think the second thing for me with our pharma clients is around access to data. There's an awful lot of NHS data that sits out there in the public domain. Obviously, each pharma company has their own access to certain data sets, but it's really making sure that we provide a service around prescribing systems, and actually it's the implementation piece. Once your product's on a formulary or it's been granted a NICE tag, it's the healthcare solutions piece for me where I feel the industry often falls down, where you have something preferentially positioned on a pathway but nothing ever happens with it. So it's the access to data piece, obviously, which Star OUTiCO can provide, but it's then what do you do with all of that insights and the data? You have to create the solution. And again, coming to Star, my eyes have been massively opened as to what they can provide. And then I think the final thing is around capabilities of the sales force. And I know I've already answered this question sort of in the previous one, but things have changed in the pharmaceutical industry about how we sell to customers. We're now working more remotely. Our capabilities have changed. It's more around soft skills. It's around improving in-call performance, but it has to be measurable in-call performance as well. And I think a lot of companies have really struggled to see the value in the digital space. And again, some of the DICE initiatives, which I've seen clients who've worked with Star work on, whether it's with a current sales team, products that are facing LOE or about to deliver an advanced product notification, there's so much that Star can offer to really address the issues around how do we make our sales forces more effective. So I guess they're the four: customer insights, access to data, healthcare solutions, and in-call capabilities. It is completely refreshing. I couldn't, yeah, it's just brilliant. What can I say? It is, people who think that Star OUTiCO are just about recruitment literally need to watch this space. I've been absolutely blown away by the level of sophistication, the insights, the data, the solutions that the company can offer to clients. But I think the big thing for me is the culture of the company. It's open, it's honest, it's future focused, it's fun, and it's really, really exciting to be a part of.